Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all the discounted games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. This year in 2023, the World Series of Board Gaming is in Las Vegas from September 24th through 28th. And they're giving away over $40,000 and Super Bowl style rings to the winners. Now I'll talk more about the details of that later, but today I'm going to be ranking my top 16 games that you'll be playing in the main tournament. So here we go. All right, to start this off, I just want to mention that there's 16 games there. One of them I have not played, that is Gaia Project. That's mostly because I've played Terra Mystica and I was just ho-hum on it, so I never seeked out Gaia Project to play. So with that one being removed, let's start with number 15. For me, 15 is Great Western Trail. I know a lot of people love this game. I know it's highly rated on Board Game Geek. I'm not huge on deck building. I like the Western theme. I like the sort of going down and going down the different paths and getting to the end and coming back and doing it again and building your deck. It's fine, but for me, it was just, it's a long game. It's a tough teach. I don't really enjoy deck building that much. So for me, it was like, if I'm going to spend 2.5 hours on the game, there's 100 others I'd rather play. That's me personally. The next is Brass Birmingham, number 14. The number one game on Board Game Geek. I liked the game. I had fun playing it. I was like, yeah, okay. It didn't grab me to the point of, wow, you've got to play this again. So, for me, I know that most people love this game. It's, one of my friends, Kiki from the Secret Cabal, this is one of his favorite games. And Martin Wallace's favorite designer, he's talked about this game a lot. It's a good game. I enjoyed it, but it's just not one that I'm dying to play all the time. So it's a little bit higher on this list. By the way, I just reviewed the Nucleum, which is touted as Brass in reverse with Barrage, if they had a baby. It's coming out at Essen. It's the best heavy game I've ever played. I just reviewed it. Go check that out on my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe below. Hit that bell so you can see when some of these reviews come out that I do from some things that aren't out yet. Number 13 for me, Terraforming Mars. Again, I like the game. It's just too long for me to want to play it. I like games that are an hour long, very streamlined, tons of depth, tons of replayability, and when you're done, you go, wow, that was a lot of game in an hour. I'd rather play 3 of those than 1 of these, and that's why these heavier games. I don't dislike heavy games, but the longer it is, the more it has to really stand out for me to really keep it and want to play it a lot. Even Terraforming Mars, the card game, was too long for what it was. So that's Terraforming Mars. I enjoyed it. I like it. It just doesn't hit the table much because, again, it's decently tough teach, and it's pretty darn long. Number 12, Dune Imperium. I like worker placement game. This is hugely highly rated on Board Game Geek. My gaming group loves this game. Again, I don't like deck building that much. I do like area control, and I do like conflict and meanness in the game. So I like the conflict aspect of this. I like the worker placement aspect of this. I felt for me, without any of the expansions, the resources were just too tight. And this was a little more deck buildery than I would have liked. Things like Lost Ruins of Arnak, I really like. It's probably about the same length as this, 90 minutes or so. I love Lost Ruins of Arnak. It doesn't feel as deck buildery for me. It feels more worker placement, where this feels more deck buildery to me. But that's just me. Dune Imperium, I liked it, but I don't like it nearly as much as other people. Number 11 is Ra. For me, Ra, ironically, just one of my favorites. This is not one of my favorites of his. He does a lot of auction games. This is his most popular one. It's probably one of his most highest rated games on Board Game Geek, and I liked it. Again, I've played it. I enjoyed it. This one seems to drop because of the consistency level of it. Sometimes you'll play it, it will go over great. Sometimes you'll play it over, it won't go over quite as well. So for me, Ra's fine. The new version just came out for 25th Century Games, and it is gorgeous. I've looked at it, I've unboxed it, I've checked it out. I have not played it yet, but man, they did the right treatment. If you're looking at Ra, 25th Century Games has a great version of that. So now on to the top 10.
Number 10.
All right, number 10 for me is Arc Nova. I like tableau builders, but again, as I mentioned in the earlier games here, the longer it is, the better it has to be. I like this game. I like it a lot. I feel like it it hurts itself by having such a big deck of cards that you could be fishing for things that you're never going to get, and it's so that's a knock against it, and it's just super long. I like things like the Earth and things like that a little bit better just because they're a little tighter. I can get a similar experience in a lot less times. I do like Ark Nova quite a bit, but it's just so long, and sometimes the deck can really screw you up because it's so big and you're trying to wait for a bear card that will never come out. So I like it, but it's only at 10 here.
Number 9.
Next one's another tableau builder, number 9, Wingspan. This game is, every time I play it, I always go, gosh, I forgot how much I like this game. This game's really good. It's in a new Wingspan Asia, which is not just an expansion, folks. It's also a standalone 2-player game of Wingspan, which is the best way to play Wingspan 2-player. I will never play it 2-player any other way other than with Wingspan Asia. Great tableau builder. It's obviously done a huge amount for the hobby. It's sold a ton. It's very highly rated. It's a good game. I really like it. It's beautiful. I love looking at the birds. I love comboing the abilities. Sometimes you focus on the eggs. Sometimes you focus on all different ways to go strategy-wise. And the replayability of all those different beautiful birds, and it just looks nice, and it's not too heavy. It's fine. You play 60, 75 minutes, and it's a decently easy teach, but there's a lot going on, a lot of strategy. Wingspan, number 9.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Seven Wonders. Yes, I know number 7 would have been nice for Seven Wonders, but I don't play those kinds of games. Seven Wonders, again, I played it recently, the newest version, the newest printing. It looks beautiful. And again, it's one of those games I forgot. It had been years since I had played it. I was like, wow, I forgot how good this game is, And because you can play 7 people, I believe, really fast, because it's drafting, if it's people's first time play there, it is a decently tough teach with all the iconography and definitely the science scoring trips people up. But once they get that down, it's still a really good game. It still holds up well. It plays a lot of players and not a lot of time. And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of expansions for it. So Seven Wonders is my number 8.
Number 7.
Number 7 is Cascadia, the Spiel des Jahres winner recently, in recent years. This is right in my sweet spot. 45-ish to an hour, super streamlined, decent amount of depth, lots of interaction, trying to beat out other players for different terrain sizes, taking something that somebody else wants, a little bit of hate drafting there if you need it, matching the animal with the terrain type and trying to figure out where it all goes. I love that puzzle. For me, this was like a more streamlined, more refined puzzle, more forgiving puzzle than, say, Calico, which came out sort of before this. But Cascadia, fantastic game, looks nice, and it's a breeze to play. Number 7.
Number 6.
Number 6 is a 2-player game from Uwe Rosenberg, Patchwork. This is a classic 2-player sort of polyomino Tetris style game where you're drafting tiles, putting them in there, and it has an economy to it that I love, that you're working on these buttons, you're trying to get things with buttons early, so you get a button income at every different parts of the game, which allows you to then spend to get the better pieces. It's sort of a race, if you will, trying to fill up your board, trying to get the first 7x7. It is a fantastic, very clean game there for 2 players if you like Tetris style games. The only thing that holds it back from going higher is it's impossible to see if you're actually getting better at the game, because with each game, just depending on the way that the tiles come out, I mean, you could score negative in this game, right? You might score 12 or 20 or maybe -4, and you might feel like, I'm actually better at this game, but the score doesn't show it. So that one keeps it from being a little bit higher, but it's a fantastic game. And Patchwork, my number 6.
Number 5.
Number 5 was a Spiel des Jahres nominee many years ago, Splendor. This still to this day is such a great game for me, where you can, it's a little bit abstract. It's got some definitely like entry to engine building, lots of expansions available for it. The nice heavy thick poker chips, working your way up, building an engine, trying to get to the points to win the game, sort of a race there. Splendor Duel is even better than Splendor if you haven't played it yet. Oh my gosh, that 2-player version that Bruno Cathala came in to help co-design with the original designer Marc Andre is amazing. But Splendor itself still does really well for me. It's every time I play it, I don't play it that often anymore because it's been out for quite a while, but when I do play it, I'm always like, oh man, I forgot how good this game is. Splendor is just really good. It can be played pretty cutthroat too. You're reserving cards that other players are going for, even if you don't want to get them. So yeah, Splendor is my number 5.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me is a game that just was redone in a special edition. It just came yesterday for me, and I just opened it up. the Castles of Burgundy. This is my favorite, well, it's not my favorite Stefan Feld game actually, but it's up there. It's in like my top 3. This is just hugely, it's been out for a long time. Great Euro game from Stefan Feld. It's been very ugly for a long period of time, and then they finally released this, did it justice, did a great special edition with, and it's a gorgeous now, and now it looks awesome. It is such a good game where dice are involved, and you're using those dice to do things, and you know, depending on the dice and how they rolled, it kind of pushes you in the different strategies, and you're building up your own map, and it's such a fantastic Euro game. It's probably 75 to 90 minutes, but it's really good. It's using those dice and building up your map. It's so fulfilling to build your own thing. Lots of tough decisions, a decent amount going on. I'd call this a medium weight Euro game. But one, because of its newness with the special edition, really is why this thing is so high, because it put it back on my radar play again, and I forgot how good this game really is. The Castles of Burgundy, number 4.
Number 3.
Number 3 originally came out in 1964, designed by the late, great Sid Sackson, the grandfather of game design, as he's affectionately known. And this is Acquire. I love Acquire. I just doing the official rule school video, how to play for Acquire. This is one of my favorite games. I love Sid Sackson games. The economic game where you're placing tiles and you're buying stocks and you're building these companies up and you're merging them together and you're trying to figure out what to do with the stock. Do I sell them? Do I trade them in? Do I keep them because that company's going to come back? Lots of interesting things here. You've got some tiles that you're looking at that that might help other companies. So you're buying things, you're watching what other people are buying. You're like, they must have a tile that will make that bigger, or maybe merge into this company. You're trying to manage short-term cash with long-term cash, because the most money in the end wins. This is just a fantastic game. And this new version is beautiful from Renegade Game Studios. So number 3, Acquire.
Number 2.
Number 2 is a game that I didn't really like that much when I first played it. I was like, okay, it's good, but it was way overhyped at the time. That's Azul. And now I've got to tell you, the second Azul, the Stained Glass Sintra, is my favorite version of Azul. But this first one, I've played it more and more, and gotten the expansions for it, and gotten the little clear trays for it, and gotten the new Azul mini version, the travel version that I play in the van. If you like traveling or adventures or van life, I recently converted a van. I've done a lot of van videos. There's a playlist on my channel for van life videos, and one of the reviews I did in that was the Azul mini, and showing how I used to be able to play 2-player in the van. Now I can play 4-player with the Azul mini. Anyway, Azul's it's that abstract game that has been hugely hyped. It is a great game. I wasn't as high on it at the beginning, but again, as I played it over and over again, I really see the beauty in this game, and it just gets better with every play. Again, pretty darn mean, abstract, pretty quick, but lots of tough decisions. And it's, for me, it's really moved up quite a bit on my charts, which is why it's number 2 here.
Number 1.
Now, if you're watching this, you definitely play games, and hey, why not make some money while gaming? Now, the World Series of Board Gaming 2023 is in Las Vegas from September 24th through 28th, and they're giving away over $40,000 and Super Bowl-style rings to the winners. Now, there's 16 different games available to play, like Ticket to Ride, Wingspan, Terraforming Mars, and many more. Now, you can click the link below to learn more details of how it works, and to receive $40 off your entry using the promo code GameBoyGeek. And my number 1 game at the World Series of Board Gaming is Ticket to Ride. This is a game, I do a lot of gaming with non-gamers. I evangelize the hobby. For me, games are about the people and the relationships you build with them. The tagline on my channel is breaking down barriers and growing relationships through board games, because I see games bring people together and strangers together in ways that you wouldn't be normally if you didn't have the experience of playing games. And for me, Ticket to Ride is the go-to. Hey, everyone hears what in the neighborhood what I do, and they see the studio and they go, well, what's your favorite game? And I say, well, let me tell you the game that you should get. Here's the game that you should start your collection with, Ticket to Ride, because it's pretty darn simple. It's based off of Rummy. Take a card or draw or play cards. You draw, you're building stuff, you're building routes, you've got some secret information, you're trying to block other people, but at the same time, you're trying to get all your tickets done. Sure, there's a decent amount of luck with the tickets you draw and this and that, but the game has so much tension. It moves so fast, it's snappy, so much turn angst of like, oh, I gotta go here, don't go there, okay, I'm gonna block you, see people get upset. It's just got the perfect balance of luck and strategy and ease of play, but depth, expandability. For all those reasons, Ticket to Ride is my number one game at the World Series, the World Series of board gaming. Well, I hope you enjoyed my top 16 games of the World Series of board gaming. Again, if you want to learn more, you can click the link below. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships with board games, and helping you find the next one you'll love. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table into a high-quality gaming solution, but they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with over 20 styles of thematic game mats in 11 different sizes from notable board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and real cool accessories, experience what thousands of other gamers enjoy by upgrading every game you play with a Game Topper system. Save hundreds of dollars on Game Topper package deals that are in stock now for immediate shipping at GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below.